See, dude? You can't escape me. Every time you try to put on the Razorback or simply dismiss my existence, I only grow stronger. And that's kind of people's answer to this thing. It's not always that simple, but yeah, the Razorback simply blocks one backstab, recharges after 30 seconds or when touching a resupply, briefly prevents the spy from attacking after attempting said stab, and completely prevents the sniper from being overhealed. The concept and idea of this thing is simple. Sniper tends to get backstabbed a lot because of his literal tunnel vision, and so this is an item for players that got fed up with that and want to just kill people while standing far away from the actual fight. Of course, over time, the general consensus on this weapon is that it's not very well designed, some even going as far to call it the dumbest weapon in the game. And I mean spy, it's an anti-spy weapon. I literally have to hate it because that's the excuse people used in my video about the homewrecker, so I have to hate the Razorback. Yeah, no. Yeah, weird thing is I actually kinda like it, and it's not just because,
oh, it's because he's the spy as a gun guy and it makes you use your gun, so he has to like it because it involves the gun.
Yeah, also no. It's more so the fact it encourages on-the-fly problem solving, which is a thing I love in video games. It's the same reason, albeit to a much lesser extent, why I like the engineer matchup so much. A lot of fighting engineers as spy is about on-the-fly problem solving due to all the factors you are met with as a result of the engineer's decisions beforehand. While it generally revolves around the building placement, the weapons the engineer decides to equip can also cause a massive shake-up for the spy strategy. It all creates a bunch of interesting decisions that you need to think through very quickly, which is a big reason why I like playing spy so much. The Razorback is that same sort of thing, just on a smaller scale. It boils down to, normally snipers are free pickings, but sometimes you can't just backstab them. It's pretty simple, but I often enjoy the extra layer of decision making it gives me whenever it shows up, because the answer isn't always clear. Like if they're standing still and isolated, sure you can just... But Stock and L'Étranger, the two best revolvers in the game, take 3 point-blank shots to kill them, which for some snipers is just enough time to react. But if you happen to bring any other revolver, you can two-shot them, which they typically can't react to. Enforcer with first shot having the disguise bonus, a crit-boosted Diamondback, or the Ambi with the first shot being a headshot. In fact, I named my ambassador something very funny and original that nobody else has ever named their Ambi before. Please laugh. But all this is assuming he's at full health. If he isn't, then maybe you can quickly finish him off right there and then with a quick pistol whip. Maybe it's too dangerous or the sniper is moving too much. Maybe you decide to pass up on the sniper right now as to not drop your cover and instead go for a different target. Or you could decide to attempt to stab anyway to destroy the Razorback and come back within 30 seconds to finish the job. It goes from a simple stab the sniper because his back is turned to all of this. It completely mixes up the otherwise simple decision making, and I like that. Doesn't mean it's not flawed though. First thing people point to is how it's an unlock specifically designed to screw over one specific class and how the sniper doesn't have to actively engage with it. And I mean, yeah, that second part especially is true. All the sniper has to do to make it significantly harder for the spy is press a few buttons in the loadout screen. I mean, it's pretty common to see a sniper throw it on like bug repellent after you stab them a couple times. It's not like this problem is exclusive to the Razorback either. Darwin's Danger Shield is like a worse thought out version of the Spicicle, which back in the day the Darwins actually used to be anti-enemy sniper, allowing you to survive a quickscope headshot at full health, which was far worse. The somewhat saving grace of it for me is that it does take up the secondary slot, which can be used for other things, with one of those things also being useful against spies, but something that has to actively be used. That and the complacency it gives snipers, but more on that later. There is also the situation in which the sniper is too heavily guarded, especially by sentries, which often makes him very difficult to kill, while, yet again, the sniper is putting in very little effort to make the spy take significantly more. And that is the point where the whole decision-making stuff I mentioned before goes from interesting to annoying. Just like how annoying it is when YouTubers tell you to subscribe before the video has even properly started. And simply the fact that spy is supposed to counter sniper. Like, it's pretty obvious that the classes were designed like that. The Razorback just kinda shits in the face of it, mainly due to the previously mentioned flaws. I mean, if the Razorback didn't exist, the problem of sniper being the best counter to sniper would likely be less of an issue that people bring up. Because again, there's a big imbalance of effort with the Razorback. It's not like the Spicicle, where its downsides are something the Pyro can frequently take advantage of. And despite the fact I have a soft spot for it, I would still agree that it is a pretty dumb weapon design-wise. I wouldn't agree it's the dumbest weapon in the game. Honestly, for me, that'd go to the Homewrecker, but still. Squimjim suggested his own changes to the weapon, but as someone who thinks the backstab blocking is still interesting, here's my take. Replace the no overheal downside with minus 25 max health. Same downside as the big earner. Now, while the sniper is better protected against backstabs, it puts him in one-shot range of the other classes should they get close enough, and it makes the revolver 2 shots more reliable. So even if they're being guarded by a sentry, you can still sacrifice yourself to take them out. This retains the original intention of the no overheal downside since it was added so you couldn't have a sniper that was immune to both backstabs and quickscope headshots, since 100 max health with overheal is 150 health. And I get the chance of weapons ever being changed again is low, but I don't like complaining about something without offering potential solutions. Anyway, back to more things I like about it! Another major thing I like about the Razorback is often the false sense of security it gives sniper players. A lot of them will just throw this thing on and assume they're now immune to spies, which... And it is often hilarious how unprepared some snipers are when the Razorback doesn't just magically eliminate the spy as a threat. Some will take way too long to react to being shot by the gun, some will get stabbed, panic, then forget their Razorback hasn't come back yet. Some won't even pay attention to the fact their Razorback got destroyed because they don't even consider that possibility. In fact, you know how during the trick stab spy psychology video I said this? Nobody is immune to trick stabs. A lot of people in the comments stated that, well, actually, Razorback snipers are immune to trick stabs. Except no, they aren't. There's literally a clip of a Razorback sniper getting trick stabbed in the first spy psychology episode. And someone in my Discord posted a bunch of clips of them specifically trick stabbing Razorback snipers because they just do not consider the possibility that they'll get stabbed twice. Believing yourself to be immune to trick stabs straight up makes you more susceptible to them, and makes you look like an idiot when it inevitably happens to you again. It's like the sniper player tries to take the easy way out of having to worry about spies. They so badly want to be able to be complacent about sitting in the backline out of danger, but you are there to remind them that you are a threat. It's often really fun to stab a sniper a couple times, have them put on a Razorback, but you still keep killing them because you don't want to let them off that easily. Peak psychological warfare. I mean, back to this clip from earlier and from my last video just titled Razorback Bullying. I am going out of my way to mess with this sniper because he equipped the Razorback. I am so focused on killing him out of pure spite that I see this scout here with low health that I could easily just pistol whip, but I ignore him because my priority is in fact bullying this Razorback sniper. There is also the rare situation in which you accidentally stab a Razorback sniper, which, frankly, it's pretty funny. This is especially stung because it was with your eternal reward. But I mean, this also goes back to why I like the Razorback from a design perspective. It makes you pay attention and is a bit of an intelligence test for the spy player. It does subtly remind them that the knife isn't the answer to everything, and learning that there is useful at the right moments. Spy as a class is really good at preying on players' complacency, and it's fun how an indirect downside of the Razorback is how it tricks snipers into thinking they're safer than they actually are. Still, not denying that the overall design of this thing is pretty dumb, and I do think the game would probably have been better off without it, especially with how it dilutes Spy being a counter to Sniper. The complaints about it I do say are generally warranted, but hey, I have a soft spot for it, even if I know it kinda sucks. And like seriously, if you actually hate the ever-loving shit out of this thing, I do not blame you in the slightest.